Hey, everybody, it's Monday, which means it is time for the Troubleshooters. That's right, we are back. The bad news is it's the final season and they're pushing hard against the Directorate. The good news is our new show is getting underway. We'll be running Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Looking to start that sometime in May. We've got a lot of new things in store for that, a lot of big plans, auditions for that. Casting call is still out there. You have until the end of this month. Get your audio clip in. You can do video if you want to. We are not going to be using cameras in the new game. We have something completely new and never before seen on this channel that we're going to do, and it's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. We're working hard behind the scenes to get this going. And then when I say we, I mean Otter. It's all Otter. I'm not doing a damn thing. It's all him working hard behind the scenes. I'm just over here going, nodding my head up and down, going, yeah, that sounds great, man. So if you want to play with me and run Wild Beyond the Witchlight, where you can be a Harengon or an Owl Folk off of the Strixhaven game, you can be Harengon, which is the bunny rabbit. You can be a hare, a rabbit, a little chubby bunny. I played one that's like this constantly strung out hair. His eyes are bulging. His hair was like matted and falling out. And he had bald places, and he was just constantly twitching his ears going. But you can play any kind of character you want to, including the fairies. We do have fairies as a playable race now. As we get ready to set up for Wild Beyond the Witchlight, it should be running about 20 to 30 sessions, depending on how people play and the RPG and things like that. I ran this exclusively for Virtual D&D Weekend and Winter Fantasy, and we got through it in a weekend playing 4-hour sessions. So we can get it done pretty quickly if, depending on how we do things. All right. So, let's talk about the major thing that we have going on, since I've been talking about us, but let's talk about the major thing. As many of you know, right now, we are in the midst of watching something unfold in Europe that is unfortunate, is putting it mildly. It's a tragedy. We are not a political center, however, we are humanitarian. Right now, we are doing the Roll for Ukraine. It is a humanitarian push to try to raise money to help refugees and those who are trying to leave the country in lieu of everything that's going on. Throughout our session, you will see the notification, Roll for Ukraine. Please, if you can, I know times are hard right now for everybody, but if you can, donate anything, please. It all really counts towards helping our fellow man, and that really is important. We get none of this. It all goes towards the efforts there. As a matter of fact, it was started by Mondo Kane Publishing. It's totally intending to focus on fundraising, driving donations to the at United Help UA, which is a nonprofit who is currently in Poland and working overtime to get medical supplies, food, hygiene supplies, anything that they can to the Ukrainian citizens and refugees who are affected by the events that are unfolding there in Europe. So please give if you can. This is a great cause. Their goal was 3,000. We're at 2,300. So we're really close to getting that number. And again, anything you can donate will be magical. And I saw this, that Maddie did this the other day, so I'm going to throw this out there. Join our Discord. If you donate and give me a receipt of your donation, show me, hey, I donated, I will let you come up with a game changer. That could be a Deus Ex Machina. That could be adding an NPC. That could be letting something that started happening change the scene. Now, you can't teleport to the bad guy or defeat the big bad evil thing in one fell swoop, but we'll let you change the game in some other manner that might benefit the party or might not benefit the party. So give what you can. It's a great cause. And enough about that. I want to thank our sponsor, D&D Beyond, coming out on the 15th, which is next Tuesday. is going to be the Call of the Netherdeep, which is the Critical Role adventure setting, and it should be looking to be really fun. Virtual D&D weekend is the 18th, and I am hoping that I am running a special session for the Critical Role games where we are tying into the new book. I just finished running Wild Beyond the Witchlight for Virtual D&D weekend. We're not running that anymore. Yeah, there are some crazy things in the new book. But we are not running Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Now we're looking at Strixhaven, which I will be running that and the Critical Role stuff, hopefully, and see where we can go with that. I'm looking forward to it. Virtual D&D weekend coming up again, not next weekend, or I should say this coming weekend, but the following. And then in April, we have the Huntsville Pop Culture and Comic Expo, where I will be running a game there. I need to make sure I meet up with Carrie and tell him, hey, buddy, I want to run a game. And then in May, RPG Con, we've already got the tables and events set up. I'm looking for DMs. I've got quite a few. I just need to get some more because I'm hoping to have this table full. This is actually a Dire Bear convention exclusive. It is a trilogy that's going to take place, starting with the Aldemir Mystery, and then the Aldemir Conspiracy, followed by the Aldemir Revolution. So in the city of Aldemir, this huge city that sits as a trading post along the Semet River, leading to the sea, and then from further up other territories. This is a major trade city. It sits atop a cliff that winds its way down. The city is separated into different wards, and the body of a wealthy merchant was found in what is known as the Mud Ward, which is also the most impoverished part of the city. The party has been tasked with investigating why he was there, what happened to him. As they unfold that mystery, it leads to another conspiracy, which leads to another further undertaking in Aldemir, ultimately deciding the fate of the city itself. So it should be fun. It's being played out in 3 parts. It is a level 1 adventure. When you end at the game, you should be level 5 at the end of the 3rd part going into it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that unfolds and having everybody with us on that. And again, that is May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I know that we have all of our the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Thank you. If you look down below, we have all of our live events coming up as well as the other events. And update on something that I wanted to talk about, because we know that Streamlabs is having an issue with some of the claws. If you have claws, you can spend them or redeem them, I should say. However, gaining new claws is a bit broken. That doesn't prevent the hydrate and channel points from working, if I'm not correct, or if I am correct. Accurate. Excellent. So you can still tell us to stretch and to give party appreciation and even the cursed no cursing. The only thing you can't do is Mhm. Yes. Yes. So donate bits and tell the party to give the party a boon or a bane, and give them luck, whatever you'd like to. And let's see. I think that's all the announcements I have. Did I miss anything? No? Okay. Well then, let's do a recap, because it's been about a month. When last we left the party, they had made their way via train to Zurich, where they were then someone got on the train with them. Their weapons were taken. It's as though someone knew they were coming. About midway through the trip to Innsbruck, the party decided they had had enough of being patsies on the train and took matters into their own hands. A keg of explosive gunpowder laid at one end, fireballs cast at either end, explosions rocking the car, causing it to decouple, slide off of the rail, and then slide down into the engine. The car turning sideways, precariously poised on the side of this mountain pass. the rest of the cars derailing as they slammed into the car overturned. The party had its bumps and bruises, but were for the most part unharmed. Taking the engineer captive, quote unquote, they made their way close to Innsbruck. As they jumped off the train and made their way with with no weapons in hand, really, they found the city of Innsbruck. The earth, the sky, and everything around seems to be a sad, dead gray color. No life in the trees, and everything seems to be silent. There are no chirping birds, there's no skittering things underfoot. This territory, this land, blighted by all of the magic that was used, trenches still dug here and there, trees felled to make way for armored vehicles and things. The smell of death is still strong in the air, filling their nostrils as they approach the city of Innsbruck. The city of Innsbruck, once a bustling city in Austria, now a blasted and blighted thing. Buildings shelled out and empty, like cavernous teeth in the maw and the lower jaw of some great felled beast. A single tower stands, a church steeple. The party made its way up to the top as they can see a better sight in the center of the city. What once stood as the center of the city, an open marketplace to the world around it, now stands as a place where military troops and the Directorate uniforms have gathered. Out of the earth erect 4 purplish black pylons, not straight up and down, but curved inward like 4 jagged fingers. They watch as military people seem to march into the center of this construct, a portal that they then pass through. There's a wait for a moment, and then a sound like a belch or something, and the world seems to tear itself asunder. A madness peeks through the void as they watch a 2-headed demon step through, 20, 30 feet high, gripping the sides of the 4 pylons. It peers its head, one of them looking around, the other one reaching to the sky and bellowing loudly. In their minds, the only thing that screams out is the Demogorgon. And that's where we're going to begin tonight's episode of The Troubleshooters. Welcome back, everybody. You've had a month to relax and think about everything. Just want to go ahead and mention that we do have 3 of our party members with us tonight. Unfortunately, Voodoo is not going to be able to join us as they are working this evening, taking care to make sure that lives are saved or at least looked after. We do have Emrys and Lysandra with us, although cameras are not operational at the moment. That's okay. The fun is only going to begin. Looking out over the blasted landscape. Hello, Russell. Looking over the blasted landscape of this fallen city. This once not great city. It wasn't never a big city, but it was big enough that it had some weight. But now, again, like I said, you could see the hulled out buildings and the streets that are decimated by battle. But more importantly, towering over those fallen, crumbling buildings is the sight of this monstrous creature. One hand lashing tentacles its hand ends in lashing tentacles. You can see one head is slathering, yowling madness, a long tail ending in barbs and spikes as it makes its way. It bellows again, and you watch as all of the people below it, all of the soldiers that are gathered, suddenly cower and fall back as though they want to break rank and run. At the head of them, you see one man. He stands there boldly, not terrified by the creature standing before them. He seems to yell out to the crowd, although his words are nothing more than a mumble on the wind from your distance. But they seem to hold everybody at bay for a moment. And instead of breaking and running, they seem to pause for a moment and kind of gather up around him again. You are currently standing on the top, or you're at the top of the church tower. The bell is long gone, but you can see that you have a good vantage point. You can see the entirety of the city. Let's start off by looking at what resources you have. What do you guys have on you?
I mean, did just weapons get taken from us?
Yep.
Then Lysandra probably has 2 or 3 health potions on her. She probably has a couple of vials of like poison. And then she has all of her like magic stuff.
Okay. So you have some of your kit with you. Moonin, what do you have on you?
I mean, the only thing I really lost would be Mom's guns. Gej has the hand axe she gave me. Mm-hmm. And even the odds is in its own place, along with other weapons as needed, but not a whole lot past that.
You have it securely, ensconced somewhere? Is it just keistered right now?
No. Even the odds was set as my packed weapon.
Oh, that's right. So it gets scrolled away.
It is in another place.
All right. From this distance, even though he is far away from you all, you can feel a bit of madness rushing over you. And I need everybody to give me wisdom saving throws, please.
Oof. That was a nat 20 plus 9, so 29.
All right.
That is a 14 plus 4 for 18.
Okay.
It's just a flat 14.
Ooh, okay.
I don't have a wisdom modifier.
The absolute terror that ensues with this, a scream starts to bubble up in your throat, both for Emrys and for Moonin, as you watch in terror as this thing flails its 2 tentacle arms around, screaming in the sky. It's that scene from Pacific Rim when one of the kaiju like bellows and its throat vibrates. It reaches its head out and just screams and bellows in the air. I'm not going to do that into the microphone because that's just not necessary.
Thank you.
You are stunned. You cannot move. You are struck by terror in this place.
Can I ask just for a clarification?
Mm-hmm.
Since I needed spider climb to get up here, 1, am I the only person up on the tower seeing this? And 2, if I'm stunned up there, am I in trouble for falling? Because spider climb is no longer active.
You're using spider climb from somebody's spell, is that correct?
Yeah, from me. I gave him spider climb and sent him up on his way because he's going to be
You're
the best to get the advantage roll.
stunned, but you don't lose your concentration on the spell.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're not falling, and you are the only one up there. So the rest of them can only see this thing as it towers over the buildings. Again,
Lovely.
it's gargantuan. Well, it's huge, but
This is
still.
a note from me, dogs.
You know what? We didn't like this country anyways. Let's go to the new lands. Hell with Europe, man. I'm
Yo,
done.
you guys want to start a franchise over on like World 3?
Can we pick an even number at least?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You
World
just
4
go
it is.
back through and find find your friend over in the
Hey,
yeah,
I don't know how, but we found your keys. We just wanted to
hey,
return them and also sneak into another world. What?
because this one's gone to shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more about this food that's fast.
Yes.
Why is it so quick? As you're watching this creature and you are stunned, you notice it does something interesting. It stops bellowing. You watch as it lowers both of its heads and then takes and like starts to scoop something up. As you watch as the tentacle falls out of the way of the building, as it comes up, you can see that it is holding the person that was standing in front of it. Think Faye Dunaway and King Kong. You know, it's holding it, bringing it up to its face.
Now, do we recognize who it is holding?
Give me a perception check. The two of you are stunned for about another minute or so. But Lysandra made the save, so give me a perception check.
It is an 18 or a passive of 24.
Okay. You do vaguely recognize the figure. He is far away and now high up in the air, but he is recognizable. It is somebody that you have dealt with on more than one occasion.
Friendly or non-friendly?
Oh yeah, no, definitely non-friendly. He is definitely on your shit list.
She doesn't make any move or any sound. She just acknowledges it and just goes, "Okay."
Oh, okay. So this is what
We are quite a ways off, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does she notice that her two party members are stunned?
Mm-hmm. Well, you notice that Emrys is stunned. You can't see Moonin. He's up on the top of the tower.
I don't think that there's anything that she can do to help that. So she's just kind of going to like look because her save was so high that she's like didn't even notice that there's anything going on. And she just was like, "Are you okay?"
Emrys, you give me the save again, please. Actually, both you and Moonin, give me a wisdom save again.
Lower than the first one.
Yeah, same here.
That was a 10 total.
That's an 8 from me. My
Neither.
good sir.
Yeah, Emrys does not respond to you, staring slack-jawed, wide-eyed at this creature in the distance.
I gotta go.
I'm just at the top of the building with like the rifle scope up, just not moving, looking through.
Yeah, your hand isn't even on the trigger guard. It's like just holding it up. After a few moments, you watch as the creature sets the man down.
Boo.
You can hear him just like trying to listen to somebody off in the distance. You can't really make out what he's saying, but you can tell that he's having some sort of conversation. Thank you very much, Emerald of Frux. you can see he's talking to what appears to be the crowd. He's still standing on the tentacled hand of this gargantuan beast, but he's talking to the crowd. And after a few moments, you're watching that, and you hear something just off close by. It's the sound of feet moving over rubble. As you look, Lysandra, you can see in the distance, not far from you, they haven't spotted you yet, but you can see soldiers that are making their way. You're probably going to be in trouble in about 30 seconds. And Emerus is still like locked in this stunned moment. As a matter of fact, Emerus, go ahead and give me another wisdom saving throw, please.
Six.
Natural 1 for a 5. Welcome back, everybody!
Hey, we're doing
Woo!
awesome.
Gonna take
How
this
did
dice.
season 4 end? In their absolute destruction.
Okay, these dice are out of the mix for them.
How did season 4 start? With a whimper.
Oh, Dragon Magpie, good to see you.
Hey, Dragon Magpie. Okay. Well,
Question.
yeah.
Would anti-life shell help protect her like allies?
That is a great question.
How big is that? Because I'm a couple stories up right now.
Well, right now, I think you're just gonna be fucked, Moonin. I literally don't think that there's anything that this can do for you. But if
Well,
we can,
maybe they won't see me. Their eyesight is based on movement, and I'm not.
Don't move. They'll think you're just a statue on the building or something.
That's a strange gargoyle up there.
Is he wearing a jacket?
Your passive is so high. The anti-life shell won't help them.
Okay.
One of the things that you notice, though, is that Emerus's eyes, his gaze is on this thing.
So she is going to curse because she knows that even doing this, she's wasting a spell. But she's going to cast Greater Restoration on Emerus.
Okay. Yeah, so you cast Greater Resto. It doesn't really seem to have any effect.
It doesn't have any effect on a charmed or petrified person.
Because they're not, it has to do more with his gaze and not the petrification. Because Emerus is not charmed nor petrified. They are stunned at the moment.
Oh, can I take that back then?
Yep.
Well, since she has that wisdom, she's going to just like throw Emerus's cloak like over his head, like backwards.
Okay. Emerus, as soon as your gaze breaks and you can no longer see the creature, you shake your head, clearing the cobwebs and the fog that is overtaking your brain. And as such, you are now able to move. Quickly, you also notice that there is a group of guards that are moving your way rapidly. Again, they haven't seen you, but you have scant seconds before they're upon you. What are you guys doing? You can move into the church. You can try to move down the alley. You can fight them. What do you want to do?
Lysandra, as quickly as you can, get into the church. And then I'll use personally the robe of stars to go into another plane.
Okay, so you're in another plane of existence.
Mhm.
And Lysandra?
I think she's probably gonna go into the stone like she did before, but I don't. Yeah, she's gonna just go into the stone.
So you're just gonna use meld into stone?
Yeah, meld into stone. So
Okay. Are you choosing the ground or like the stone of the building?
I think she's choosing the stone of the building.
Okay, so you just kind of into the building you go.
Perfect.
Moonin, give me that was a fun sound, wasn't it?
It was perfect. Can I ask a question before he does this?
Mhm.
When I go into the other plane, does my familiar go into the other plane?
Um, your familiar would not because it's you.
Sorry, it would not stay in this plane. It would come
It
with
would
me.
stay in the prime material plane,
Okay.
not go with you into the astral plane because the cloak only takes you,
Okay.
or
So
the robe only takes
could
you.
I could I have made like I know it's like a split second decision since
Mhm.
she is still there. Could I have maybe ushered her to make a distraction but like off in another part of the path? Like go to another building, push a
Like
rock
make
to make
it
a noise so that their
um
attention would turn towards that instead of mayhaps glancing upon our spider climbed friend.
well, here's the thing, you got to remember that not only is Moonin way up in the top of this tower,
Yeah.
but the way their view of him wouldn't
Yeah.
be as such they could really see him unless they are like specifically looking for him.
Okay. And
Because
they're not.
he's
So
got like because the steeple or the top of the tower, the cover of it is still there.
yeah. So he's up. Okay, he's up there. He's not in view. Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Right. He's not
I
in view.
couldn't
He's got
remember.
like if you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, the guy was doing the sniping from the church tower,
Yeah.
and like the church tower was there as was like a small port that he could see out. It's sort of like that. It's not just wide open to the greater world to see.
Okay. Perfect. Then scratch that and
Okay.
just send her off into the distance. Like
All
usher
right.
her to just hide as well.
Okay. Moonin, wisdom saving throw.
I'm a gargoyle. Welcome to today's episode of I Can't Pass a Save for Anything. That's a 7.
Does anybody out there want to spend some bits and give this man some luck?
Hey, man.
Remember, for those of you who are joining us, we're still doing our role for Ukraine to raise money for the humanitarian effort to help the refugees and folks who are stranded in Ukraine. I have said this earlier at the beginning, but if you donate to the Ukraine, no matter how much it is, you even $1 or whatever the minimum is, if you will send me a read receipt for that inside of our general chat, or you can DM me directly with that, I will let you change the game in some way that is beneficial, but isn't necessarily like game crippling. In other words, I'm not going to let you like have a nuclear or an atomic weapon to take out the Demogorgon, but
You know,
still.
of all people, I'm okay being a gargoyle right now because I am very out of the way.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna hope that they're not looking too good up.
How long can you stay in the astral plane for as long as you want to, or is there a time limit on the robe of stars?
Let me go back and click.
Mhm. Also, how long does your stone meld spell?
it can last up to 8 hours unless the stone no longer fits me. So, like, if for some reason they were to like
They
attack the
reduced it to
building,
rubble.
They just blow up the building for no reason as they go by.
It's just randomly destroying it. You're in the one building in its path as it starts to march across the
Oh my god.
way. It just crushes your building.
God.
Son of a bitch. All right. Well, you watch as from your view, you can't see anything because you're melted into stone. But eventually the guard passes by. However, you're in the astral plane. How long do
Yes.
you wish to stay there?
Basically till they're like out of view and way. Because yeah, mine's just an action to enter the astral plane along with everything you were wearing carrying, and I remain there until I use an action to come back.
Right. The question is though, is you're on a completely different plane.
That's true, but
You can't see them.
that's true.
It's not like you're in the ethereal plane where it just overlays the prime material and you can kind of
That's
see
true.
everything. You
That's
are
true.
the fuck out.
You're in space.
You're in space.
um I would
You're out there going
it has to
sucking
be
down
great.
air.
um
I've made a mistake.
I would
Doggy paddling
choose a
through
number.
space.
I would choose a number
Goes
to count
nowhere.
to.
Okay.
For every so I would go with the mentality of 60 seconds in a minute.
All right.
And I would stay there hold on. 7 minutes?
Okay. 7 minutes in
Well,
heaven or in
yeah,
space in this case.
yeah. 7 minutes in space. Who's meeting with me? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I'm not even thinking it.
Nereus.
Yes. Actually, sorry, I
See.
thought you were about to say Richard, so I was like, I'll take that one.
I thought Richard was
Grass
showing
is
up
like-
too.
He just comes floating by with his arms behind his head. What are we doing? This is like fun, love. I need Moonin to give me more saving throws, please. Or at
How
least another
many?
one.
Just
Just
one?
one. Yeah.
I'm gonna try a different D20.
I curse you with good energy for it. It's a curse, so it could be better off.
I am a gargoyle. That is a 11.
Hey, it's higher than what you had last time.
That's true.
We're getting there. It's going up.
You've got nowhere else to go but up. Because once you rolled the nat 1, which you did. Okay. Stunned. Stunned as you are, you can see that the creature is being commanded. It starts to turn and walk away from your direction. You're not sure where it's going, but it has no regard for any of the buildings as it starts to make its way heading west. I'm sorry, heading east. My brain had them flipped around. It seems to be heading east, opposite of the direction that you came into town from the west. You can see that the figure is now on its shoulder. It's standing about that tall. on its
East, like
shoulder.
towards Russia.
East, like towards the Czech Republic, Russia, all those things. The newly formed parts of Germany. You know.
I'll
all
make
those
sure
things.
to let my party know about that when A, I can move, and B, I find out where they are, because I don't know.
Yeah. Because you're standing there going.
So because the monster has moved away, is he still stunned, or do the heads swivel?
The heads don't swivel, but he still needs to give me another saving throw.
One is facing me, and the other's facing the other way.
It's like on its swivel.
Okay. We're going to try this big old heavy dice. Come on.
I want to hear it roll.
I can do that. Let's see if this actually picks it up.
Nope.
A little.
Nope.
Actually, like the smallest amount. I heard the initial clap, and that was it.
It didn't roll. It literally landed and just went, stop.
Oh.
What are you rolling it on? Non-Newtonian fluid?
Felt. It's a little felt wood tray.
Okay.
But it just happened to not roll. But It's a 18.
Finally.
As it passes away from you, you gain enough control of your senses that you can like duck and move again now. You actually gain control of your faculties once more. You can see now, looking throughout the city, that there are troops and reserves that are moving throughout the city as though they are scouring or looking for something. From your position, I want you to give me a perception check, and I will give you advantage since you have a good vantage. Dragon Magpie, we were talking about things that you can put into a game, and there was one called the Horrid Goose, and it was a lot of fun because it just shows up for no reason anywhere that it wants to.
Well,
Can't be
that
divined,
D20
scried
is
upon.
in jail for the rest of the evening, but thank you for advantage. That's a 19 plus 8.
All right. So you see the soldiers moving as they would, doing a grid pattern, searching through the city. What you notice, though, is not them, but you notice other figures, small bands that have moved in from the north, and they seem to be cutting through, hiding in buildings. You watch as a small group of them actually like grab a couple of soldiers. There's a skirmish with no gunfire going off as it's quickly ended via knife and bayonet plunging in and taking out those soldiers quickly.
Do I have any moment to catch views of these mysterious groups?
You do. One of the groups is led by a tall, slender man with darkish, ruddy, like almost reddish brown hair. It's cut short. Along with him is a woman that you can see who has auburnish colored hair and a hat on her and a band of yellow on her arm. You recognize them as Philip and Annie.
I'll say I wouldn't miss Annie in a crowd.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
She
that's
is a
figure you don't
striking
forget.
figure. Yes, she is quite the striking figure. Another group you see is a fellow in a long highwayman's jacket, a famous accordion briefcase, accordion style briefcase bounces on his back as he moves.
Good to see they made it through.
You can
How
see that
far
there
past
is
is the patrol that was coming by the church?
they've moved on quite a distance from here.
Okay, lean over. Hello?
Mhm. You don't see your friends anywhere.
Because Emrys is
Hello?
on another plane, I assume that spell ends, right?
Which one?
I mean, spider
The spider
climbs,
climb.
just time-wise, is probably already ran out.
Concentration up to an hour.
It hasn't been quite an hour.
Oh.
And that's a good question. Hang on a second here.
Because that was cast before the Demogorgon appeared, because I had scrambled up there before that happened.
Technically, you can still concentrate on the spell even though Emrys is in another plane. Here's the scenario. One of my favorite things to do is cast haste or some other buff like bless or something on my party members, then cast rope trick and hide up there as the caster. Rope Trick technically makes a pocket dimension, which would be another plane, another dimension. I can still maintain concentration on the haste or whatever it is that I have
That's
cast.
a cheeky combo there, buddy. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a bastard when it comes to using
Have you met my
using
friend? Disappears.
I Maddie was running a game with me and Steve and some others, and they had a MacGuffin which kept drawing all these undead that kept being created into the center of the room, and whoever had the thing was where the undead came to. So I cast haste on Steve's character, said, "Go get that and bring it back to me." He did. Then I cast rope trick and just climbed up because rope trick doesn't require concentration. So I just kept haste on him, and then I hid. Every once in a while, I'd peek my head out and hold the thing so that all the monsters could come running over, and then I would just hide again. So all the undead were gathered underneath where my pocket was while they fought the bad guy. Maddie's like, "I hate you." I like creating characters that have no damaging spells, and then the DM is like, "What are you doing? You don't have any damaging spells." I said, "I know. That's intentional."
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've been doing this a while. I'm a bit of a bastard when it comes to synergizing spells together. Um, Somebody asked me, "What's how bad of a DM are you?" I said, "I've counterspelled a healing spell before." So nothing says I'm an asshole like counterspelling revivify. Anyways, um, so you can keep concentration on the spell while you're in another plane of existence. The thing about being melded into the stone, you can't see what occurs outside of it, and you can't really hear. I mean, you can, but it's all muffled because your head is full of stone.
Oh yeah, no. Like Liz is just like she's going to wait for what is
Liz-
usually happens of the
I'm
knocking
a
on the
rock.
stone and being like, "You coming out?"
Equivalent of
Liz is in
like
there like, "I
sand
am a
in the
rock."
ears. Now here's the problem. I don't know either of you did these things.
Nope.
So
They looks like they have just faffed off.
well, I don't get a response, so I will, not knowing how long I still have spider climb for, shimmy my ass down this building.
I did have a 21 for perception, and that's with disadvantage, so I might have heard him.
I'm going to say no because it wasn't like he was being loud about it. Because I'm pretty sure Moonin's not going to be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? You still there?" So that everybody could hear him.
No, I would be stealthily trying to come down the building.
All right, so you stealthily clamber down the building and looking around. Give me a perception check. Emrys, how long are you staying in?
So I would have counted up to about 7 minutes, hoping that they would have at least take it like after, like hoping that they would have continued on their path. Since they didn't seem to be looking for something, he figured that they would just go straight by.
Okay. So you are going to now, a few minutes have passed by, Emrys, as you scrambled down the edge of this building. You looked around. You don't really see either of your party members anywhere nearby. What were your perception checks?
I rolled an 18.
Okay. You don't see any more troops around you either. So heading from where you're at the tower, you can head southwest,
Just leave.
southeast to get
No
to the
one's here.
center of
I
the
should
town.
just go.
Southeast will take you to the center of town. You saw allies in the northeast and in the due east of you, and it looked like they were making their way towards the center of town.
Do I spot Emrys is familiar in the rubble of the church when I get downstairs.
What is your familiar again? Is it the little otter weasel thingy? Isn't it a weasel? A stoat, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was a stoat.
Emrys is on mute.
Emrys said they would be back in 1 second.
Oh, okay. Give me a perception check again.
Sure. I don't trust
What's
any
your-
of my dice anymore.
What is your passive?
23.
Your passive is a 23. Stop. Don't roll. You notice it hiding nearby. Its coat keeping in pace with the kind of gray and browns of the rubble that are nearby. But you do see it move. It kind of picks its head up and wiggles its nose at you.
Hey, buddy. Do you know where Emrys is? Everyone seems to have left.
And it kind of like makes its way over to where you are. Runs between your legs in a little figure eight. And then kind of stops, sits down, and pulls up on its hind legs.
Emrys, now that you're back in chat, I'm interacting with your familiar, trying to find you.
Her name's Rose.
Rose? Like...
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
That's rather unhelpful, and I will just try and pick them up and, like, shoulder.
Yeah, unless it's been told not to trust its, party members, it scrambles up on your shoulders and just kind of hangs out there. About a couple minutes pass by, and you think you're at that 7-minute mark, Emrys.
And I will return.
All right. In that couple of minutes, are you going to try to hide out somewhere? What are you going to do? Moonin. Sorry, Moonin.
Seeing as that there doesn't seem to be more troops coming up and down the road we're on, I would kind of just like set up on the back, like still in the building, but with a view into town and just trying to see what our allies might be up to before we head in. Because I don't know where my party went. I'm going to give them a minute or two.
Yeah, you don't have a direct line of where your allies are at, but you can kind of see down an alleyway across the way, and you've given yourself enough view, at least, let's see, facing southeast, so at least to your like south and kind of like west, you can see down that way. So if anything comes from that direction across, you'll see it. After a couple more minutes, Emrys, you bamf back into the prime material plane, and you find yourself alone. You don't see Rose in their hiding spot where they had checked off to.
Okay. Am I able to like sense her?
Mm-hmm.
Can I follow that?
You
Like, just like, even if it's just a
hear
rough
her
estimate?
making her little sounds.
Okay.
You find me feeding her some like rations as I'm sitting there, like looking down just a regular scope, not on the gun, out the back of the building.
Yeah, she runs like circles around your shoulders and then like scurries down your body and runs over to the doorway as you watch Emrys kind of like emerge in. It runs around your feet and then scrambles up your body, Emrys. She rests herself back under your cloak on your shoulder, under your robe.
Yeah.
Liz, you've been in here for a minute or two, or 7 or 8. You just gonna keep pretending to be Han Solo and Carbonite?
she would probably have noticed, like, even though that everything is muffled, she would have noticed the fact that there wasn't really any sound after they passed her, right?
Right.
She'd probably give it another 5 minutes after they passed her and then
Mhm.
come back out of the stone.
All right. As you exit out of the stone, you can see Emrys making their way into the church itself. Like you see the back of Emrys moving in. So you know that your party is at least looks like they're reassembling. Looking through there, you can see not only Emrys but Moonin standing there, like keeping an eye on things. After a moment, you watch as Liz pops out of the stone, gathering up. You have information that you wish to relay to them?
No.
That's your prerogative.
Yep. So, it seems whatever that terrifying, whatever the hell that was, is moving east out of the town. Looks like our friend is riding its shoulder. Thought we dealt with him.
Friend.
Yeah,
Friend.
thought we dealt with him when Colm got kidnapped. It does seem we have squads of allies moving into the town on the northeast, eastern side, making their way further towards the center. I know for sure Annie and Philip are there, and Colm looks rather resolute, pushing his way through anything he happens to come across. We do have allies, it seems, in town.
So it seems.
Liz
As
pipes
you
up and goes, "It's probably better to get with our allies, as long as they are not currently in the path of destruction." The other thing that we learned is that if you don't look at the monster, you should be fine.
It's gonna be a little awkward to fight then later. I'm sure.
I mean, if you come up to its ankles.
I mean, all of my combat abilities are sight-based, so that will be interesting.
Liz shrugs her shoulders and goes, "I don't know, it could be like a Medusa thing."
Does a mirror work? Rifle
Are you talking
backwards
like
with like a
of
mirror?
like trick shots off of your shoulder, firing with a mirror up? You're like, bang.
Which way is left? Which way is right? Fuck.
Shit.
Stage left.
Bang. Fuck. You missed.
Oh
All right,
god, that
so
would be some hella weird rolls to shoot like that.
based off of what you saw earlier with the parties moving through the city, it looks like that they were going to like intersect one another closer to the center of town. Do you want to try to catch up to them, and how do you want to go about it? Do you want to go straight where you think they are? Do you want to circumvent or circumnavigate around the outside and then come in from the north? How do you want to go about this? Because you got two things. How do you want to get to them? And two, how are you going to find them?
Well, Colm has a sending stone. Or at least had a sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't respond the last time we tried reaching out.
Nope.
But I believe, Lysandra, you had something that could help us find a particular item in the past. Is that
Yes,
something
or
you'd be able to do when we get into town?
yeah, I could probably do that, or I could probably also just talk to him, the same walkie-talkie, but not, a
Mhm.
me talkie.
Me talkie, you listen.
Brain talkie.
I could do
Are you going
that.
to
Sounds
use
like a
message?
No, I have sending.
Oh, that's right. You do have sending. Okay. Are you going to cast sending then?
Sure. I'm going to cast sending. So I'm going to ask the party what 25-word message we want to say to Colm.
We
To
oh,
see
go ahead.
you're alive. We're here with you.
Where should we
can
meet?
we meet? That's 13.
Yep. And that's 14, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
see you
started
wore
counting
your
them.
brown pants.
Good call.
Oh, take inspiration. You made me laugh.
That was for you, Cap.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
So
I
if
feel like
that's
it's
the
just a
message that everyone wants to send, she's also going to add that Annie and Philip are here.
Okay. And so you send that?
I send it off.
Okay. There is a moment, and then you hear back. Glad to know you're safe. Meet us just north of the center of town. Look for a yellow, orangish building. 2 stories. Stay off the streets. Use the alleys as much as possible. That's it.
She relays this with, I hope none of us are colorblind because we needed to look for an orangish yellow building, or I hope that Colm's not colorblind.
wait. What are colors?
You fucker.
I've just been black and gray this whole time. Let's go.
He sees in sepia tones.
That would
Everything's
be
sort of
wild.
yellowish brown.
Is it
His
the
colors are
brown
just
building?
inverted.
And we also should be in alleyways, not the streets, is what he said. So
That
we'll
would
meet up
make
there.
sense. They seem to try and move into the town covertly as possible, so we probably want to follow suit.
All right. So you start moving. I am going to need stealth checks as you sneak through the buildings.
Yeah. I stare at everyone.
It's a 15.
I hate this. I switch dice once and I get a nat 20. 31.
Okay.
I can't read this die. 22.
Okay. You quickly duck your heads, keeping yourselves together. You move in unison as one, sneaking through the buildings. And you make your way through one set of alleys, and you can see that you've moved closer to where you need to get to, but ahead of you is a large main avenue. The street is probably 30 feet across with sidewalks and all. Although the telephone and telegraph lines that once stood there tall are now snapped off like twigs in places. There's not much in the way of coverage as you have to make your way across this avenue. So, before you head out, give me perception checks, everyone. And this is going to be
15.
your active perception. So it will not be your passive, your active perception.
15.
Okay.
That's a
17. 13 plus 4.
2 plus 8 for 10.
All right. Moonin gives you all the all clear, and as you start to step out, Emrys reaches up and grabs you by the back of your shirt and pulls you back as you watch a small cadre of soldiers walking down the street. You can see they have their guns and that ready position where they're aimed down, but they can snap them up in a second. You see 3 of them with guns walking down, and you see behind them 3 more soldiers. They have those familiar, like, they have those familiar wands. As they're walking, they're looking around and checking. You watch as one of the guys gets bored. He just holds the wand over his head and whips it around. You see a bolt of energy just kind of fly out. It's almost this like pearlescent white color as it slams into a piece of rock and just sends rubble and dirt flying. One of the left goes, one to his left looks at him and says, "Are you trying to alert everybody that we're here?" He looks at him and goes, "We're marching around the city streets with wands and guns. I believe if there are insurgents and those who wish us ill will, they know we're here." Fair point. Right. Can you hit that? And he points to like the top of one of the posts, and you can see this glass bulb that the wires wrapped around. He goes, "Easy." And they start taking pot shots at it as they continue to watch on. One of the ones with the rifle turns around and just hauls off and slaps one of the guys with the wands. "Stop it. Just because they know we're here doesn't mean we want them to pinpoint where we're at. Quit wasting your energy and your time. Let's move." And they start to go again. The 2 of them, the one looks like rubbing the side of his face, holds his wand up, and the other one like reaches out and taps his wand and like pushes it down. Shakes his head no. And roll their shoulders, and they keep making their way by. They pass by, and you guys can sneak across the alleyway, or excuse me, across the roadway, and you get to the other alley. Give me another stealth check, please.
27.
13.
I'm so sorry, Emrys. 7.
27.
16 plus 11.
27. You said a 13 and a 7.
Yeah.
One of you needs to get past without a trace. I'm just saying. All right, so we should move it across.
Is that something I can take? Because
I
I do
go-
it in a heartbeat.
I go pew pew. What do you mean?
My job is to shoot things. It makes loud noises. I don't move quietly.
I'm like the only one of me in Europe, basically, so it's kind of hard for me to be stealthy.
My
Even
whole
allowed
shtick
that?
is I'm far away from the things I'm shooting, so there's a distance thing. You know.
I'm not. Listen, only. I'm not a. Wait. Druid Ranger Trickery Domain.
Trickery Domain or Circle of the Land Grassland. Yeah, you're not any of those.
Am I about to multi-class to get it? Maybe. We'll see what happens later.
Again?
Again? Well, the first time.
The Adventures of Super Stealth Boy and Rockety Rickety Rackety Sound Guy.
And Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
There you go. It's like me getting out of the bed in the morning. Just, oh, am I supposed to make that noise?
Too real.
That is. It's too real. I did that last night. I climbed into bed and my hip goes, pow! I was like, I made a fun sound.
I actually had to add a wave filter to my microphone, so when I crack my neck and my shoulders, it doesn't echo through my mic to all of you.
Oh. All last week, right through my shoulder here, everything was just kind of tight and bunched up, and it just hurt, like an overexertion kind of thing. And I moved my head like that and popped my neck loudly. And Emily looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, are you dead?"
I've never felt
fun
more
times.
alive. And you got to crack it the other way.
Fun times. Yeah. All right. So as you go to only on the inside, yes. As you guys start to slide across the next street, you are met with a small group of soldiers They turn as you get to the street. It looks like they have people in their grip, in their grasps. They look like they were just passing through or were caught here. Unfortunately, they do not look like they were staying here. They don't look like they're combatants at all. You see one of the guards has his wand up, and as he's touching it, he like touches the tip of it to the man who screams in pain, his body writhing. You see the woman start to plead with him in who speaks German.
Yes.
I do.
She is pleading with him in German, please stop, please stop. The two children there are crying. You can see that there are 6 of them, 3 with wands, 3 with guns. One of them turns as you stumble out of the alleyway and into the road and like nudges his buddy as he raises his gun. And I need everybody to roll initiatives.
Oopsie doopsie.
Whoopsies.
Oopsie
13.
doopsie.
Did I do that?
Lysandra, you said you had a 15?
13.
13.
I have a 19.
Okay. Moonin.
My brain is messing up on math here. 24.
Jesus, man.
+9, man.
Mine's a
That'll do it.
+8, technically.
Can I
+3.
volunteer myself after Emrys in this initiative?
No.
Nope,
Absolutely
but
not.
you're going first, and
Oh.
all you've got on you is pew pew bang bang. All right, let me pull up my dice roller.
I
I mean,
apologize. I never said this earlier, but I technically still have like my weapons on me because they never disarmed me since I was I wasn't me.
That's fair.
Because I
They did
remember you
not.
saying they didn't disarm me because they thought I was just a joke.
they were planning on
Yeah.
throwing you off the train
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
until you pulled out a wand of fireball.
Soldats are a low initiative. All right. I need to make sure that I have these ready to go. Okay, first up, Moonin. You see the 3 with the rifles are turning to face you, and the 3 with wands are like starting to look in your way, but they're moving a little slower. You're up first. What are you doing?
Well, for starters, if we were trying to be stealthy, I would not have had a gun materialized to shoot with.
Okay.
So,
you doing then?
alas, it looks like, you know, I guess my action is going to be, oh, we're trying to be quiet. I will materialize a rapier.
Okay. You materialize a rapier almost out of like, you put your hands together and form this weapon out of this purplish energy. It looks a lot like the purple stone that has given you this ability to do this. It shines with that same hue, but it has this metallic look to it. As the rapier is formed in your hand, there's a voice in your head that creeps up the back of your neck, gives you tingles, and like settles within your brain. And all it says is, yes, good. Strike them down.
And I will bonus action cast Hex on one of the spellcasters.
All right. Number 4, 5, or 6?
Die of choice. Number 5.
Okay. Gotcha.
Don't you come at me like
All right.
that, Voodoo. I'm trying to be stealthy here. And I am going to bum rush that mage. I
Okay,
don't
so
have an
you are
attack.
making your pace. All right,
Yeah.
they are 35 feet from you, so you're going to get close.
That's fine.
Okay, so you move your full 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're there. He's 5 feet from you, or there's 5 feet between you, and he's got his wand up, looking kind of blank at you. All right, anything else on your turn? Bonus action, action movement. Emerus.
Actions. Well, action surge wouldn't get me close enough. That wouldn't give me a movement. So
No.
yeah, no, that's what I got.
Okay. Impetus.
All right. Is it just? Sorry. Okay, no, that's technically that. Okay. I am going to Eldritch Blast. The one that has the wand to the man's head,
Okay.
specifically.
Okay, so that would be number 6.
Yes.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. And yes, I do need to roll a d20. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what was your roll?
21. 14
That
plus
will hit.
7.
That will
And
hit.
I don't think I have anything that ups that damage. I'm just making sure with my...
You don't have Agonizing Blast, which would add your charisma modifier to it?
No, I do not. No,
Do
I
you
took
have...
2 different ones.
Okay, so it's just your straight. However, you are at 5th level, so it'd be 2 bolts.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I'm milling both into him.
Wait,
No, I'm not actually. I'm not 5th level in Warlock.
no,
I'm
you're not. You're
3.
only 3rd level, but hold on a second here.
I was trying to remember why I had more than 1 beam. Is that the Robe of the Stars?
Because I think cantrips are different.
Yeah.
I think cantrip goes by overall level.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so no, I forgot what the but I'm still doing Eldritch Blast on this guy. So it is still 2 beams?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, let me
Yes,
roll that second one.
because your spells are level based by spell. Your cantrips are level based by your overall level.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell I don't do multiple?
No,
Blast
it
for ya.
was something that I don't really think about that often. I was like, wait, it's you are at 5th level, not when you were at 5th level in this class. If
Okay,
that makes sense.
perfect. The other one is a 17.
Okay. 17 does hit.
Okay, perfect. This one. Okay, so that's 8. 14. And do I add anything else? No. Yeah. So yeah, 1d10, 1d10. Yeah. So 8, 50, 8,
How much total?
14. Sorry.
14. Okay.
14, and I don't know if it makes a difference, but it's force damage.
Yeah, it does not make a difference. All right, you watch as you coalesce this energy around your hand and quickly fire off 2 rapid succession. Boom, boom, 2 beams that arc down the streetway, slamming into this guy's chest. He barely holds on to his wand as he's rocketed by both of them. He looks and levels his gaze at you. I think you may have made a friend. Anything else?
I will. It's another feature straight thing, probably. So I want to take concentration on each of your terms. So no, never mind. Sorry, I thought it was something else. That's okay.
Okay. All right, then Liz, it is your turn.
I need the one that Emerus just attacked, the one that was like torturing these creatures, to give me a wisdom spell save for Toll the Dead.
Okay. That is going to be a 13.
They do not save, they take 20 damage.
20 damage. Right after getting blasted, you watch his body rock as he reels back to try to ready himself for his attack. Nobody else hears it, but you watch as he grabs his head, dropping the wand. You hear the dolorous sound of the bell that is ringing around him, the death knell that nobody else can hear. He looks at you as blood wells in the corner of his eyes and ears and trickles down. He grips his head for a moment before releasing it. Looking at you, his body goes limp as he falls face first into the road, dead. So that one is dead. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think so. I think that's gonna be it. But I forget, what are these wands? Are they? I forget what's in the wands. Do we know?
You do not know. You are not sure what the wands do. All right. Then on their turn, the three with rifles are going to take fire at one of each of you.
Oh wait, I'm so sorry. I forgot they had rifles. Is there like cover around that like
There is plenty of rubble and things like that that you can kind of duck behind if you'd like to. They're
yeah,
going to give you half cover.
Yeah, she's going to try to at least like get behind something, but nothing. She's fine if she gets hit, but she's still going to try and like get behind something.
Okay, so it'll give you basically a +2 to your armor class. So the first one's going to try to take a shot at you. The first one is a 22 to hit.
It hits.
All right. Give me 1 second here. Oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry. 13 points of piercing damage from the first one. He slides the bolt back, slams it back into position, and takes another shot. That's a total of a 25 to hit you, and nearly a crit, but not quite. That's another 15 points of damage from that one. The next one is going to take 2 shots at Emerus.
You will.
That's a nat
probably
20.
hit. Yep.
That's a nat 20 on that one.
No, it isn't.
Okay. All right, so it's going to be 18 points of damage to you, Emerus.
Yep.
And the second one is an 18 to hit. Okay. And that's another 18 points of damage. And then the last one is going to take shots at my boy. Oh, wow, an 8. And a 16.
Just hits me. Meets it, beats it.
Just hits. Wow, I rolled shitty for you and great for everybody else. 6 points of damage as I roll a 2 and a 1. Okay, so they are done firing. and you watch as they dive behind cover themselves. One of them dives behind a low wall, but he takes and lays his rifle off. He has what you would consider 3/4 coverage. The other one peels off to some rubble, and he has partial coverage. The third one pops over behind some more rubble, giving him partial coverage as well, or half cover. So they had two of them have half cover, and one of them has 3/4. I'm going to mark that on mine. All right. Now the guys with the wands. One of them takes his wand and turns it, and instead of firing from the wand, he reaches down and looks like he scoops air. As he does, he mashes his hands together, twists once, and then throws it in your direction as he casts Chaos Bolt. Okay, so I need to roll an attack roll. That's a total of a 26 to hit. Let's see, one of you. Moonin.
Oh yeah, that hits.
All right. So lightning damage,
Okay.
and that's going to be 8 plus 2, so 10 points of lightning damage.
Beautiful.
Okay. And the other one is going to pull his wand and do kind of what Emrys did, and you watch as 2 bolts of energy leap from the end of his wand. They are trying to hit Lysandra. So let's see if that happens. 19 for the first one.
No.
And 19 on the second one. So both of them, he watches, he fires one, and then the other one in rapid succession, just kind of like blasting them out of the end of the wand. Both of them hit the pile of rubble. Boom, boom. Bits of dust and rubble are showered over your head, but no damage is done to you as it just bounce harmlessly off of what you're hiding behind. They too then scurry for cover. Watch as they run. One of them jumps behind the wall where the other one is, giving him 3/4 cover, and the other one is behind a rubble pile, giving him half cover. Okay. That is their turn, and now we're back up at the top. Moonin. They're all kind of hiding, but they're like partially visible through their hiding holes.
Well,
Where
I
are you
was
gonna try to
about
aim for?
5 foot from that mage when he moved. Well, 10 foot from the
Yeah, there
mage
was
when he
5
moved.
feet between you.
Yeah. Well, I tried
I
to be
mean,
quiet.
he's within range of you, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Heavy sigh. I tried to be quiet. I was trying to do this quiet. I will just
They don't want quiet.
use my initial action to take the rapier and condense it down into even the odds.
You watch as you take your hand. You watch as Moonin takes his hand and pushes the tip of the rapier. And for a moment, you think it's going to pierce through his hand, but instead, he pushes it down. And as he pulls it back up, you see the very familiar form of even the odds appears. However, instead of the chrome metal shininess that it is now this purplish blued metal. of the gun as he looks down the sights, takes aim at one of them.
And I am going to action surge and pump a few
Yes, you are.
rounds into the mage who I almost made it to.
Yep, he is just over behind some rubble. You can make him out as he is hiding, so you can get a shot off at him. You can get a couple shots off at him.
Yeah. With sharpshooter, I think it ignores some of his
Ignores
cover.
cover.
Beautiful. And I want to be out of this as quickly as possible. So we are going to take adept shots for both of these. Oh, that D20's gone. I'll get it later. So I'm
Bye,
going to
D20.
do 2 Deadeye shots to give myself advantage on them.
Okay.
So
Burning was grip point.
Yep. So with sharpshooter on there, the first shot is a 21.
You take aim. It doesn't matter how much rubble he's hiding behind or how much wall he has, unless he's hiding completely inside of a box. Your shot is always going to ring true. As you pull the trigger, the bullet streaks through the air. The cacophonous sound of the gun blast. He looks too late as the bullet strikes him. How much damage do you do?
First, let's see
Don't
if it
forget to
does
add your hex
anything
damage.
fun.
Yeah.
I need to roll a d4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2. It doesn't do anything exciting, so this is just
Aw,
regular
damn.
damage. So 2d8 and 1d6 plus 6. So 5 necrotic from hex
Okay.
and 16 from the bullet.
So total of 21.
And then sharpshooter
5
will add
necrotic.
another 10. So
Okay, so
it's 5 necrotic and 16 from the bullet before dice.
that's 21. Okay.
And then
so
an
that's 21.
extra 10 from the dice on the bullet.
Okay, so total of 31. Gotcha.
Yes.
That bullet tears through. He screams out in pain as the bullet just rips through him and embeds itself on a wall behind him. You watch as a small puff of dust and rock are just sent out from that stone. He screams and holds his shoulder, looks at you, and it's terror and pleading in his eyes. The voice speaks again in your mind. Feed me more.
Yeah.
Okay. Bang.
No, I rolled for it. That was a
Okay.
yeah. Second shot is more.
Okay.
More to hit.
Okay. Are you sharpshootering this one too?
I already said I was, so I can't take that back
Can't
now.
turn that one away. That bullet tears through. How do you describe finishing him off? Where do you want the placement for this one to be?
Preferably through the lungs to stop the screaming.
Okay. He's screaming in pain. You just immediately drop the handgun right in position, squeeze the round as though you're taking a breath. It's nothing to you. It's rote. It's an autonomous thing. The bullet fires and unerringly strikes exactly where you aimed. The scream is cut off as his lungs quickly fill with blood. He gurgles for a second before falling forward into the dirt, his life pulling around him, ebbing out of his body as you finish off a second one.
And
He did.
I'm going to kind of move my way in front of the folks that were being terrorized, turn around and look at the rest of the soldiers, and not very loudly, like I'm not yelling it, but definitely loud enough that they're going to hear me. Surrender now or be erased.
Intimidation, please.
You got it.
And with those 2 shots, give me that with advantage, please.
I'll take it. With my +1. That is a 19 total. Thank God for that advantage.
As you yell this out, one of the soldiers in the lead says, "We're still more than they are. Don't give ground." And they lower their rifles, ready to fire on their turn.
And the last sputtering bit of my turn, he will feel the shadows coalesce on him as the hex is moved to this gunner.
Okay. 1, 2, or 3?
The one that decided they wanted to fight still.
Okay, that would be number 1.
Yeah.
All right. At the end of your turn, it is Emers's turn.
All right. Well, I guess for the fun of it, this is what I wanted to do last time. But the Robe of Stars has the ability to let me use Magic Missile.
Yes, it does.
And it lets me use it at 5th level.
Yes, it does.
And I want to split them up between a couple of the men.
Okay.
So I have 5 in total, 6 in total? No.
You get 3 at first level,
Yep.
and then 1 additional dart for each level above that.
Okay, perfect. So
So
and then
that'd be
5 would be 8. Yes? No, I can't
no.
math.
It'd be
3?
7. You get 3 at first level, 1 more at third level, 1 more.
Oh, and
6
then
of
every
them.
level after that. So
You get
okay.
6 of them. So 1 more at second level, 1 more at third level, 1 more at fourth level, 1 more at fifth level. So total of 7.
Perfect. Okay. Between the rest of the gunners as evenly as I can. More damage to the ones that don't look hurt, less damage to the ones that.
Well, none of the gunners have been touched yet.
Okay, so perfect. So it'll just be it'll be what 2, 2, 2. So 2, 2, 3.
Okay.
That's how I'll split them up.
2. So 2 to number 1, 2 to number 2, and 3 to number 3.
Yes.
Okay, great. Go ahead and give me that damage.
All right. So that's okay. We're gonna this because I don't have that many of those dice out because I forgot that those are different. $23.
You have to give it to me.
Right. Okay. So yes, it was 4, and then
4 to
3. So 4. So 7 to the first,
Gotcha. Thank you.
and then it was I rolled 2 more 4s, so 8 to the next.
Are you adding your +1 for each dart?
No,
Okay. So the first one would have been 9, the second one would have been 10, and the last one?
last one. Okay.
Just, yeah, tell me what you got on the D4s and then just add 3.
Yeah. Okay. It was 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8.
So a total of 8?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You step behind where you're at, you reach your hands out, and pull off. Oh, sorry, you pull off one of the stars. As you do so, you wing it in that direction, and you guide the little purple darts of energy that appear, striking over the cover, landing like Merv, just right around the edge of the cover, slamming into the targets. You watch as you can hear them screaming in pain from behind the cover that they were hiding in. All right.
And then I am going to take some cover if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some fallen. You can either try to get into one of the buildings and use it, which would give you 3/4 cover,
Okay.
or you can try to just hide behind a rubble pile using less movement, but it'll only give you like half cover, which is a +2. So choose more movement, moving further away, or
I'll do more movement moving away.
okay. So you're going to move down the street and into one of the buildings. It used to have a glass front, now it's all blown out. So you can hide there in that building, though, using your giving you 3/4 cover.
Okay.
So there you go. All right.
Okay. That's how much would that give me? Sorry.
You're effectively now, you started off 35 feet from them. You had to move 25 feet down the road to get into the building. So I'm
Yep.
going to say you're now about 55 feet from them, all said and done.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. All right, Lysandra.
So all of the gunners have taken damage, right?
Everybody has taken damage with the exception of the last of the wand wielders.
The person that shot her, is he in half cover or is he in 3/4 cover?
I believe you were the first one I shot at.
Yes.
He is in the 3/4 cover.
And what does that do with like spell saves?
Spell saves, it gives him a bonus to his spell save. It gives
Yes,
him
but
a
how
bonus to it,
much?
just like it. That's for me to know and for you to cast and let me tell you if he saves or not.
Well, then I'm going to cast Sacred Flame instead, and his coverage doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it kind of matters. Is that a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, but it says the target gains no benefit from cover for the saving throw.
Okay, then there you go. Give me 1 second here. Is that from Sacred Flame, right? Okay.
Correct.
All right, let me give you that saving throw. Ooh, that's a 9.
He takes 14 points of damage.
All right. He howls in pain, but he does not seem to be dead yet.
She's going to go, are you sure you still want to fight? Because you seem pretty fucking knocked up.
I'm not pregnant. Give me an intimidation check.
Thanks for noticing.
She is coughing up blood as she's saying this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 5.
He is not, even though he is extremely wounded. He yells back, "Fight to the last!" As I roll a 23. He is brazen. All right. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else that I can do. So I'm just going to continue to stay like covered.
Healing word or anything?
I only get 1 spell per turn.
Sacred Flame is a cantrip. You can cast Healing Word as a bonus action, and if you had it, that is.
Oh, okay. Yes,
If you
I can
cast
do that.
if you cast a first level or higher spell that has a bonus action casting time, the only other thing you can cast is a cantrip. So in this particular case, Sacred Flame, Healing Word, great combo. And you can cast Healing Word on yourself.
I do that then. So
Excellent. What level would you like to cast Healing Word at?
I
What
thought you
spell
just
slots
said that
do
it
you have
had to
left?
be at first level. Does it not have to be at first level?
First level or higher. So you can cast it at whatever spell slot you have available. The casting time is a bonus action. That's the reason why you can do a cantrip with it.
I think I'm going to just do a third. No, I'm going to do a second level because I'm
Second level Healing
hurt,
Word?
but I'm
All
not
right.
that hurt. Yeah.
All right, so 2d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. Hey, for all of you players out there, remember that sorcerers who have quickened spell, it is possible for you to cast wonderful things like Fireball, and as a bonus action, and then cast another cantrip on top of it because it's gross and it's fun to do. And if you take a level or two of fighter where you can get action surge, technically you can cast Fireball twice in a turn. Rules is written.
Technically.
It's not rules as intended, I'm fucking sure, but technically you can cast it because you have action surge. So if you're a bastard like me and you have a sorcerer who has quicken spell who's taken a couple of levels of fighter, you can cast Fireball, action surge, or you can cast a cantrip, quickened spell, Fireball, action surge, cast Fireball again. So yeah, it's kind of gross. Anyways,
I'm over here just looking forward to Sundays when I can start casting enchantment spells as a bonus action, as long as they are leveled.
It's disgusting
Mhm.
and a lot of fun.
I healed for 10 points.
Excellent. And don't ever forget that twin spell is great because you can cast haste on two people. All right, so back to the combat here. At the end of your turn, it is the soldat's turn. They are going to take shots again at our allies. Is everybody behind at least half cover? Moonin, you are not, are you?
I am absolutely standing in
in the
front
middle
of
of the
the
fucking
people.
street. Okay.
Yep. I'm trying to
we're
put
gonna
myself between them and the people they were harassing.
Well, we're going to try to wind you. Actually, no, he's going to do another chaos. Yeah, we're gonna do a wand action at you.
Okay, what do we got?
Nat 1, and then a 25 to hit.
Okay. The 25 will do.
And that's going to be 6 points of force damage.
Okie dokie.
And give me 1 second here. How's everybody doing today? It's real good to have you all. Missed you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Here you go, Cap.
What's up?
Live
Look at the
slow,
camera.
die never, whenever.
I'm ready for whatever that today brings.
Whatever
Let's
this
go.
has in it. Here we go. I'm looking for something here. Okay. As this blast shoots you, you feel yourself being shoved back 10 feet. You are shoved back away from the people 10 feet. And now
Okay.
let's shoot some of you guys. All right. Liz, you're going to take 2 shots, or he's going to try to shoot you twice. A 12 doesn't hit you, and a 10 does not hit you. And Moonin. One of them is going to try to shoot you twice. It's a 25 to hit. And
is your number.
Both of those are going to shoot you.
Okay.
6 points on the first one and 15 on the second one.
So 21 total?
Yes, sir. All
Okay.
piercing. And I know that you have +5 to your armor class right now, if I'm not mistaken, Emerus.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, because you're 3/4 coverage. So we're going to try this anyways. 18.
No.
Nat 20.
Yes.
But no.
My AC is literally in the middle of both of those right now with this cover.
There's no. As her reaction, she's like, nope.
These are not the crits you're looking for.
All right. Hang on just 1 second here. All right. So that's the second time that you've used that per long rest. Okay. Good to know.
I have up to 5.
Yeah.
And you've used them twice on me so far.
12 points of piercing damage as he gets a lucky shot and hits you right through the wall there.
Okay.
All right. And that is all of you. That is all of them. And we're back up to the top as they are quickly, like, you hear the sound of ping as they quickly jam new magazines into their rifles. All right. Back up to the top, Moonin. There are 3 of the soldiers with rifles and 1 with a wand still left.
Deep sigh. So you have chosen. And I will just rocket the first round, not sharpshooter, into the hexed soldier that told them to keep fighting.
Okay, go for it. What I love about sharpshooter is because of the fact that you have it passively, you ignore cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even active. It's just you're such a good shot, you just passively ignore cover.
Just, if I can see your elbow and just your elbow, you don't have
I'm
an elbow.
blasting that elbow.
So
if it was an elbow, now there is no elbow.
So that was a 1 on even the odds. So he's going to take poison damage equal to 4.
Okay.
So 4 poison damage. This was not sharpshooter, so this is just 2d8 plus 6.
Okay.
That's 10, 14.
All right.
Bullet damage.
You bring the gun up, level it at him. You can see part of his right shoulder and arms just enough out. You take, not even, it's just snaps to your vision, precisely firing as the chamber, or as the round exits the chamber.
He's hexed. Sorry.
Yes, he is. Add
4 more
damage.
hex damage.
As you fire the round, it doesn't explode out of the barrel like you would expect. Instead, it gives this puff of green out of the end of the barrel. It sounds like it's suppressed, so it's as it heads towards him. The round strikes him, not spiraling perfectly, but taking a parabellum where it starts to tumble end over end. The bullet tears through him. His body immediately turns sickly green as he grabs his shoulder, blood oozing out between his fingers as he falls to the ground, face first in the dirt. He is dead.
Jesus. Sounded like I shot a beanbag at him for a second there.
Yeah, it's kind of what it was. Like, poof.
Thump.
All right.
Well, I can't move hex mid-turn. That's end of turn, right?
No, you can do your bonus action anytime.
Oh,
So
Lovely.
you can move your hex right now.
That is going to go to the final mage.
Okay.
And we're going to lob another round their way.
Okay. Fire away.
Once again, regular shot. 27 to hit.
Yoho, is that a crit? No.
No, that's a 15 on the die.
10th level characters. Fun times. All right.
Well,
Yeah, that hits.
that and it's packed weapons, so it gets another +1 to hit on top of the usual.
Oof.
So it's a
Disgusting.
+12. Yeah.
All right. Well, you definitely hit him.
Holy shit, that's another 1 on the die. So
Ooh.
what is 8? Thunder. It's just gonna tickle his jimmies with 1 point of thunder damage.
It makes all the hair on his head stand up.
Yeah. And then bullet damage is not spectacular. 10, 11.
So total 12. Don't forget he is hexed.
Aha. 6.
So
Full
18
damage on
total.
hex.
All right. This one, as you fire this round, now swinging the handgun around to your next target, not even, I mean, it's like you swing the gun and then look at him and fire. Instead of the normal, like, explosion of a round leaving the chamber with that boom, it's a thunderclap. As it fires out, you watch as it, like, the air around it booms again as it hits almost like a sonic boom. It slams into him. It doesn't really hit him so much like dead on the center as it like clips through his arm. He screams in pain. He holds on to the one, but you can see that the wound is torn through part of the muscle on the back of his arm. All right. He is still up, but he is not loving you.
I'm going to use my turn to walk over and crouch next to him behind the cover and just kind of staring intently at this mage.
All right, so you stare intently at him with like you just like putting your finger in the bullet hole. Like, does that hurt? Does that hurt? Does that hurt?
Small
Does
bit
that
of
hurt?
intimidation here, just getting up in his face, but also
Yeah.
I am a squishy boy standing in center of street. Ow.
Probably not the best place for you to be now. All right, Emrys, you're up.
I don't really want to go too far into this. I know I feel like it's probably a cop out, but I'm just gonna use Eldritch Blast on whichever one I can see.
I mean, you can technically see all of them, but the two riflemen have more of themselves exposed than the wand wielder.
Perfect. I'm gonna go for one of the Wandy boys. Not the Wandy
Okay.
boys, the rifle boys.
Okay, one of the rifle guys,
One of the
riflemen.
gunmen. Yes, please.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast. 16 and 18.
18 hits, the 16 misses.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me that damage.
7.
All right. The first one, they're kind of like peering out. You kind of whip around, exposing a little bit more of yourself for a second as you fire one, and then the other one. The first one strikes the stone and rubble in front of him, sending up a shower of dust and rubble. As the dust showers down over him, he ducks. The other one turns to look at his friend, turns back in time to catch the blast in his chest. It sends him kind of reeling, but he's still there. He is not down yet, but you can see that he's like rubbing his chest where the force of the energy hit him. Anything else?
Nope. Just going to keep my Keep my spot.
Okay, Liz.
I think I'm good. So what's? So they're all still behind cover, right? Nobody's moved.
No, they're all still firing from cover.
Is the one that I hit last time still alive?
Yes, I think so.
I
No,
think
no,
that's
he's
the
not.
guy
He's
I
not.
put a hole
That's
in.
the one you just killed him. Yeah, he is not alive.
Then I don't think it matters which. Whoever is under 3/4 cover, she's going to try and Sacred Flame. So I need a deck save.
Okay, you need a deck save. Okay. The only person that's under. So you said not in 3/4 cover.
No, in 3/4 cover. I want the person.
Okay, the
that
only
has
one that's in 3/4 cover is one of the last wand wielder. So you need a deck save from him. Okay.
Yes.
That's only a 13.
Yeah, this man takes 15 points of damage.
He is no longer amongst the living.
Lys then laughs and goes, "It's too late to give up anymore. So I hope you've said your prayers."
As you reach out and snap, there's right there next to you, Moonin. You watch as this radiant fire just erupts around his body. He screams in terror and pain as he falls down dead. Okay.
Well,
Is
do I
that
have to share the cover now?
Yes. Oh, I'm going to heal word. I'm going to do healing word on my. Well, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to do healing word on myself again.
Okay. At the end of your round, the sounds from down the street where Emrys is, you hear something that doesn't make you feel really positive.
Oh, good.
Give me just 1 second here. I need to look at this first. Nope. It's definitely not that one. All right, so coming down the street, you hear the sounds of heavy footsteps, soldiers running in your direction. But you hear something else, a metal ka-choom, 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 ka-choom. As you look, you can see this large metallic form. Inside of it, being piloted, you see a soldier who's covered by this metal plate. Only his head is sticking out, and even that is heavily armored. But you watch as he's controlling this big, gigantic metal suit as it makes its way down the street towards you. All right, so let me clear these guys. You see 4 more gunners. And you see what is basically a mechanized soldier. All righty then. And he is huge. When I say huge, he's huge. But that being said, it is their turn. So we're going to start taking care of. First of all, we're going to try to shoot at Emrys. He is underneath that 3/4 cover.
Yep.
First one's going to be a 21.
Yep.
And the second one's also a 21. So both hit.
Yep.
12 and 10. So a total of 22 points of damage on the first soldier. And then Moonin, we're going to try to hit you. And you were also 3/4, if I'm not mistaken.
I am.
9 and 17.
Armor class is 16 without the cover.
Alrighty then. All right. From the other end, you still have 3/4, but you can see that the other soldiers are moving in. They're going to try to take aim at you, Moonin. Liz, you're actually kind of tucked away, so they don't notice you at first. So we're going to try to take some shots at Moonin Emrys. 19 Moonin, and then a 24.
What do I get a plus for 3/4?
5 plus 5.
So 21 is my AC with cover.
Okay, so that one's going to hit you. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And then Emrys, 19 and a 23.
Yep. To both.
You have plus 5.
Yeah, that's 19. My AC is 14 regularly.
Okay. Gotcha. Good to know. Total of 33 points of damage.
I'm down.
Okay. So you fall unconscious. The last two soldiers that are there, you watch as one of them comes over carrying what looks to be like a tripod on his shoulders. He sets it down. The second one lifts this heavy piece of equipment and sets it in place. You watch as they quickly work to belt feed this thing and get into place. They are kind of set up in the middle of the street, aiming down in your direction. Liz, you have total coverage from them where you're at. Moonin, you still have 3/4. Emrys, you are down, so you currently have total coverage because you are behind a wall. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. The mechanized soldier comes around the corner and he is going to open fire. You watch as he sort of hunkers down, he lifts his right arm, and he fires a single mortar round. Give me 1 second here. I need a dexterity saving throw from you, Moonin, and you can make that with a plus 5.
um 26.
It lands right beside you and blows up, sending shrapnel and pieces. You dive out of the way. You don't have evasion or anything, do you?
Nope. Not a rogue.
Okay. I knew you weren't a rogue. Just want to make sure.
Yep. I think Monk also can get that. Yeah.
Yep. You're going to take 10 points of damage from the fire explosion and the pieces that are just like landing around you.
Lovely. I look real bad.
Real rough. Real rough. All right. Go away, Hulkbuster. You watch as it like brings its arm down and kind of like brings it up in the air, and it makes this motion like it's tugging on something, and then brings it forward again. That is its turn as it stands up, ready to go again for the next turn. You get the idea that it just reloaded its arm and it's ready to fire again. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That is all of their turn. Back up to the top. Moonin.
We gotta go. We gotta go. How far is Listen, Emrys?
Liss would be 40 feet from you. Emrys is 55 feet from you. And
Well, I was
to
real up
get
in
to
the shit.
Emrys, you're going to have to leave yourself exposed right in the middle of the street where they have just set up that mounted gun.
Well then. This has been lovely. Move my hex to the Hulkbuster
Okay.
and blink into invisibility.
It's just like deuces. All right.
And
You move
I
your
am
hex and
going
then just
to start hauling ass.
Mhm. Where are you running to?
I don't know, Emrys is down, so back towards where we came from, at least.
Okay. All right.
Into the alley.
You can make it use your action to cast invisibility, right?
Yep. So 30
you
feet.
can 30 feet. So you're 10 feet away from her. Liz, you heard all the noise and everything, and you saw the mortar isn't a high speed thing, so you saw it fly past and land in that area and explode. Moonin, yep.
I'm real silly.
Mhm.
Hex is concentration, so casting invisibility would have nullified it anyway.
That's true.
Can I second wind instead?
You may.
Okay. I will
I'll let you do that. Emrys, I need a death saving throw, please. We're looking for a 20, not a 1.
You're saying that. 4.
That is a failure.
Mhm.
All right. Liz, you do not know that Emrys is down. You are around the corner, like in the alleyway, and Emrys would be behind you in the building. So, like between you and where the Hulkbuster thing is. You guys got me calling it the Hulkbuster, the mechanized infantry unit. You don't know where Moonin went. He disappeared. What are you doing?
So this may be really silly, and I have no idea why I took this spell. It's very unlike Liss, but can I see the person in the mech suit?
You have to peek around and then give me a perception check. And this is an active perception. You are actively looking for something.
This is a 15 actively let me see.
You can make out a helmet and a face mask. Have you ever played any of the Half-Life game? It looks like a Combine soldier. He's got the helmet and the mask on. It looks like it's armored. But you can make out what looks to be like a head of a soldier. Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you being here. And I hope
Can
you
I
guys are enjoying this.
cast Fast Friends?
Fast Friends. All right. Let me take a look and see. Ooh. You can see him and you can absolutely cast the spell. So maybe.
I am in anticipation.
I said you can try it.
I do the thing. It's a 17 to success.
As you cast the spell, you can clearly see him. The problem is he can't hear you. And he has to be able to hear you. So the spell goes off, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on him.
Lame, but okay. She ducks back behind the thing.
All right. You feel a firm hand on your shoulder as Gej, who has been following up behind you a little slowly. How are you looking on health, by the way?
Me, I am okay at
Yeah.
the moment. I'm 72 out of 83.
Okay. In that case, let's take that back a step. First of all, let's roll some initiative here. Awesome. You hear Gej ask, "Where's Emrys? Has anybody seen Emrys?"
List is going to go, I'm pretty sure they're in the building. Or they're behind me.
And it steps around, like looks around the edge of the building and says, "Oh, that's really big, isn't it?" And you watch as he takes for a moment and like coalesces this divine energy in his arms and then presses it into this ball, steps around the corner and like fast pitches this brilliant beam of energy as he casts Guiding Bolt. And we're going to cast this bad boy. What do you guys think? High level? Yeah, let's do it at a higher level. Let's do it at 3rd. Oh, unfortunately, it flies by them and misses. It like bings off of the mechanized soldier and has no effect on it whatsoever. It just seems to shrug off that attack. He goes, "Oh, that doesn't bode well, does it?" All right, that is his turn. Liz, that was your turn. Soldat, I'll get him in the regular turn now that he is here. Before we do the soldats, I need to roll one more thing. Give me 1 second here. I don't need 5.
Because List still doesn't know that Emrys is down, right?
Correct.
None of us do.
Yep, because he is in a building and you can't see him where he's at. All right. The soldats' turn. The ones in the street are going to do volley fire down the road. However, you are all protected, so it just ends up like suppressing fire against the street. Just you hear this as it sends bullets raining down the street, just tearing it up.
Where are the people that we were trying to save?
They ran away in abject terror whenever those guys came up. In the meantime, the dudes down the street that are still up, the original riflemen, are going to try to shoot you. Liz? A 23 and a 21.
Those, I think, both hit, but I thought you said that I was under more cover.
You have from them, you only have a +2. From
Okay.
the
Yeah, they
mechanized
both hit me.
unit and the other. Okay. So from the mechanized unit and the other soldiers, you have full coverage, but from those guys, you have +2. Okay. Let's just do this then. $16 on the first, 15 on the second one, so total 31. And the other two miss you completely. All right. The mechanized unit is going to start walking his way towards you. You hear him boom, 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 boom. As he gets past the building where Emrys is, you don't know, Emrys is laying unconscious. You feel the earth moving underneath you as it stomps its way towards the alley where you're at. As it rounds the corner, you watch the soldier and the top of it like crank it, and it turns hard, and it has this gigantic hand that looks like it's shaped like a maul or like a hammer, and it swings it in an arc trying to hit you guys. I need everybody there. Moonin, even though you are invisible because of the arc that it's swinging, I need
I'm
everybody to
still
give me
in the vicinity.
I need everybody to give me dexterity saving throws.
Oh, that is not good. It's a 6. No, it's a 7.
Oh, that's okay because Gej has a 4.
It's a dirty 20. 15 plus 5.
Okay, so the only one of you that made it out of there is it's our friend Moonin.
Is the one they didn't know was there.
Yep. All right. And that's going to be 15 points of damage to those of us who did not make the save. So 15 more points of damage to you. All right. Oof, it hits the side of the building, showering rock, stone, and brick down on everybody as it slams the fist into the wall, catching you as it barrels past you all. All right, that is their turn, though. And I rolled a 19 on that, so I'm going to put that just before Emrys, okay? 19. All right, we're back up to the top. Moonin.
I have a class question, actually, to start.
Fire away.
Does swapping packed weapons count as a spell?
No, it's a class ability, so it is not a spell. So for the purposes of breaking invisibility, you can do it without busting invisibility.
So how tall is this mechanized fella?
It's 10 feet tall.
Oh, I was thinking it was...
It's marked as huge, but I'm marking it as a large because it doesn't make any sense for the way that I've described it. So it is 10 feet tall. It's like a big human, big, gigantic.
Sure. I would like to try and clamber on top of it.
Okay, so you're gonna try to climb up on it. You're pulling some stuff that I used to do. Okay, so give me an athletics check.
Can I argue for acrobatics?
You cannot argue for acrobatics because it takes strength to climb up something.
It was worth a try. It was worth a try.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah. 18.
18. Okay, yeah, you easily scramble up it.
And he is completely enclosed? Are there any
Right, so
gaps in the backside that I've climbed up?
the soldier that's driving it is mostly in like the chest and neck area of it, and the only thing you can see is like his head.
Mm-hmm.
And even that is like armored with a helmet and this mask on. You can see some of the back of it does have some exposed areas, but it looks like it's non-critical. It doesn't look like critical parts.
Theoretically, would there be a gap wide enough for me to scoot the barrel of a rifle through?
As
In the
you're on
chinks
the
of this
back of this
armor.
thing, give me an investigation check.
Ooh-wee. +0. This is really, really entertaining. I'm going to use my inspiration for this because I just want to see what happens.
Okay.
Went from a 9 to a 16.
As you're standing there on the back trying to figure out where you can fit the barrel of this thing in to kind of give yourself an advantage, you spot something. On the arm, that is this big cylinder, right? That fired the mortar. You see that it is literally a cylinder that comes down. It has a hydraulic piece attached here, but more importantly, is out of the bottom of it, you see what appears to be a thick metal band. And you can see at the end of that, where that band goes in, there is a wide enough spot, and you can see what looks to be giant canisters. Also, better known as mortars. You can actually see the ammo dump or the the ammunition chamber for this mechanical arm.
Lovely. Alas, before I try and make myself known, I'd like to kind of sink into my head a little bit and reach out with my inside voice to the man in the armor.
Okay.
Yes, only he can hear me. How do I want to word this? Oh, I had it, and then I went to say it, and my brain just went, you don't need this information. Well, fuck.
Your brain hit the shunt button.
Yeah, no. Fuck. Trying to mimic to the best of my ability the voice of the old one going into this man's head. If you value your existence, stand down.
So in his head, he hears, "If you value your existence, stand down."
Yes.
Intimidation check with advantage for being in his brain pan.
Come on, brain stuff. With advantage, that's better, but not great. 18.
The mechanized infantry unit seems to shift and turn in place, and you hear him start to muffly, this muffled voice.
That didn't come through your mic whatsoever. I just saw you go like this.
Get me out. Get me out. He's screaming muffled through his voice.
Okay.
Did it come through that time?
Yes, it did.
All right. He is literally trying to get himself out of this thing, but you can tell that it is not an easy thing to do. He is locked in this thing.
I'm just trying to slow this thing down. I feel like that would have used my action for that whole dickery I just did, so that is my go. I'm staying invisible and just talking to his brain.
All right, you're just keeping him on the busy. All right, Emrys, I need you to give me another death saving throw.
All right. 16.
Okay, that's one success.
Beautiful.
Before we move on to the next, you hear more footfalls coming. This time they seem to be coming from across the alley from where you are, another side. You hear the sound of heavy footfalls from people running, and you hear a voice that says, "All right, let's try picking on someone their own size." And you hear, "Oh, I say I'm gonna love this." And you watch as a rock, a gigantic boulder, like big heavy rock, is hurled from out of the other side, landing in the middle of the street, and let's see if it actually hits them. Smashes into where the soldiers in the street are. It breaks up on impact, but ends up hitting both of them, causing damage as they are caught by the impact. From the other side of the street, you see a gigantic Bruno. He is 10 feet tall. He is large. And he comes out. You see, he's not even carrying like a weapon. It looks like he's got like a part of a telegraph pole like in his hand, and he's just walking through there carrying it. Behind him, you see Philip. His face is a mask of consternation as he is focused on Bruno. Behind him, you see Annie, Hatchet Annie. She's got an axe in one hand, and her other one is holding a revolver. And behind them, you see the familiar figure in a highwayman's coat. He's got a revolver in each hand, the accordion briefcase on his back. As he starts stepping forward, he says, "I believe the numbers are even now," as they take in and get ready to go into combat. And that is where we're going to call tonight's episode of The Troubleshooters. Welcome back. It's season 4, and there is big fights going on. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to everybody who is here tonight to watch us start our season 4. Make sure you tune in next Monday night as we go into the rest of this combat. You've got a big British guy, you've got people casting magic, you've got mechanized infantry units, you've got gunplay. This is the stuff you're here for. Don't
I do
forget
have
to give.
one question.
You have an answer.
Please tell me Bruno is still his biffy, new attired self in this giant form.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I
Yep.
want to know. Just
He's
suit
got-
and
he's-
nice hat.
He's got the vest on, the shirt and the sleeves are rolled up. He doesn't seem to have the bowler hat on. It's gone. But he's still standing there like just 10 feet, just gigantic guy. And like you can see he's like this big bruiser of a guy. He's just somebody casting large on him, and he is just living life.
I'm
Thank
here
you,
for
Otter, for keeping us going. Don't forget, folks, we are still doing the initiative Roll for Ukraine. Please give where you can. Remember, while claws aren't working, bits, you can still donate bits if you can. We understand if you can't, if you want to give the party a boon or a bane. Tune in tomorrow for more Star Wars. The Tuesday night game is going strong. Wednesday night, we are back with False Fallen Knights. Thursdays, we're back with the Knight's Ransom. I'm not sure on Saturday. I know that they were out last Saturday, but I believe we're back this Saturday with, oh my gosh, Stolen Cities. My brain went, what's the name of that game again? And then on Sundays, Varenheim is back in full go. No, I'm sorry, Varenheim is on break. That's right. They just did their season finale.
You want to check out an episode? That was a 5-hour marathon of a season finale yesterday.
Yeah, it was an amazing thing. You guys should check it out if you can. Donate where you can. Keep a hold of those receipts because I know a lot of the DMs are saying, "Hey, if you've donated money, show us where you've donated, and we will let you enact upon the game somehow." And that holds true. Next week we'll be back, same time, maybe in a different location. I will still probably have this as my background, maybe not. But we are still looking for the end of this epic season and the end of this epic series coming up. So make sure you tune in on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central, or 9-ish, sometimes a little early, as we carry on. Next week, hopefully, we'll have the full crew in here and we can roll on people and punch things and blow things up and see what we get to. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Give a hug to all your loved ones. Tell them you love them if you can. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night, everyone.
And stay tuned for the raid.
For the raid.
Rah!